because I'm from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm really from Springfield, Illinois. In fact, I'll tell you a funny story. One time I was hosting a corporate post-convention tour in Springfield, Illinois, and it was just about time for it to start, and corporate had not showed up yet. It was one of the executives. And I get a call, and they're like, we flew into Springfield, Missouri. We're driving as fast as we can to get to you, so, which is like 5 hours. So, anyway, thanks for coming today, everyone. I am a new presidential diamond. Most of my team is right in Central Illinois. All of my people are right together, so it's been fun building that way. And today I get to share with you 6 practical ways to find and recruit new leads. So I just want to ask, is there anyone in the room who has felt frustrated about trying to find some new people? Can you show me? Okay. And have you ever heard the excuse from your downline, I just have used up my warm market. There's no one else. I don't know what to do. Have you used that excuse, or you found that from your people? Raise your hand. Yes, I think we have all felt that way, you guys. We've all felt like, I've enrolled my friends, I've enrolled my family, now what do I do, right? Because I'm not that great on social media, I'm not that great on Instagram, I don't know where to go. So I'm going to talk to you today about some practical application. So here's the deal. There's a lot of leaders in doTERRA who are really great at mindset and belief and affirmations and manifesting. That's not what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to talk to you about some real life application, okay? Because that stuff is already covered really, really well. That's not my strength. So we're going to just talk about some back to the basics, nitty-gritty for you to share with your team, okay? Okay, so we're going to talk about 6 points. And number 1, your own circle is going to be the foundation of your business. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay, so when you have got to the level that you're at, everyone in this room is in leadership rank. Everyone in this room is a silver and above. So you probably feel like everybody around you has already been touched by the oils, right? So this is the time, this is what I tell my team all the time. I say, guys, this is the time that you go to your sister and your mom and your best friend and those 5 or 6 people in your life that would do anything for you no matter what. And you say to them, okay guys, I am building a business. I need you to get me in front of 5 people. Remember all those times I watched your kids while you had a date night? And remember all those times I brought you a Starbucks? I'm calling in a favor. And so sometimes you just have to ask your friends for help. And I tell my people, we have something called Brady Business Builder Book Club, where I have my people read a series of 12 books. This is one of them. Your first circle is going to be the foundation of your business, okay? So much of the time we overlook that, and we try to prospect on Instagram and Facebook, and you know, when really you all around you, you have a whole circle of people that are willing to help you. So I want you to read this book, and I want you to look right around who you have. And then going into number 2, we're going to talk about booking classes from classes. So here's what's really cool. Every single person you meet in the entire world has an entire circle of people that you don't have access to. Every person. So you have your own community, but they have their own church and school and friend community, and every person they know. So every person that you introduce doTERRA to is going to have their own people. So we're going to talk about some practical ideas of booking classes from classes, okay? So you've gotten a few classes on the calendar, and I'll tell you, sometimes when I coach, I also have a coaching business, and people will say to me, I am stuck. What do I do? And I say, we have a tried and true method on Brady Bunch that you go out and you get 4 classes on the calendar in the next 10 days. Even if it's for people where you don't really need volume, even if it's for builders, you go out and you teach 4 classes in 10 days, and that's going to give you your groove back, okay? It's the 4-class method. It sounds really elementary, but guys, it really, really works. So let's talk about some practical ideas for booking classes from classes. So incentives. Now, I don't mean everybody that brings somebody to class is going to get a lemon. Those are great, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about incentives hold classes. So some of the things that we've done are, I will give you $50 in cash to give me in front of 5 new people. And you're thinking, $50, but that's 5 new circles of people. I got that advice from my upline when I was feeling stuck between Blue and Presidential. One of my way upline said to me, offer somebody $100 to get you in front of 10 people. I did it, and it worked, okay? People like cash, especially if you're pushing for a rank in November and December. They really like Christmas cash, okay? It's worth the money, it's worth the investment. I know that sounds silly. Or we have customers on our team that absolutely do not want to upgrade. They do not want to have people under them. So we will say to them, you know, their own enroller will say to them, hey, I will give you $100 in product off of my shelf if you'll get me in front of whatever number you want to throw out, 5, 10 new people. Now, when we say new people, we don't mean your 3 children and the 90-year-old couple next door. You know what I mean? We're talking about 10 people who want oils and who would be willing to probably listen to this. Because here's the thing, it's just all about getting in front of people. This is all, we in DoTERRA are so quick to follow every shiny new object, every shiny new system, every new leader pop up, when DoTERRA has set out a tried and true method for us of sample your people, get them to classes, do a wellness consult, get them on LRP, get them on a support page, and do it again. And there's hundreds and hundreds of people who are Blue and Presidential Diamond just doing that same thing over and over again. So get your Empowered Success paperwork and just stick with the program. It works, okay? Trust me, it works. Now, sometimes we will do little booking games at classes. You know, I know that DoTERRA is not a party plan company, but even though we're not, and these are classes and educational events, people still like prizes, they still like to take things home, so you want to make it fun. So something we do is we will take, say I'm teaching a class in March, we will take a blank April calendar, okay? Just a blank calendar in class. And on that April calendar, we will put like 5 Post-it notes on dates that are open to teach classes. And underneath the Post-it note, we will write the name of a big prize. So we say, okay, we have 5 dates in April. Anybody who takes one of these dates gets to take something home out of my prize basket tonight. So our prize basket has like diffuser necklaces, lemon, diffuser bracelets, nothing extreme, but people just really like free stuff, okay? And then underneath the Post-it note on the date that they choose, there's a bigger prize, a travel oil bag, a Modern Essentials book, a Melissa oil. So once they hold that class, that's their prize. So they get a prize for booking with us, and then they get a prize at the end of the night after their class for holding it, the bigger prize. People love doing that. Oftentimes I'll take that to a class and we'll get all 5 booked in one night because people really, really like to play games. Another thing, just a little tip that really has nothing to do with my topic that I've been doing lately. Have you noticed, guys, I don't know, just in the 5 years I've been in DoTERRA, have you noticed that people are just so distracted? And even during class, when you're fun and engaging and you're keeping your class to an hour, they're on their phones. Like, how many of you are on your phones right this very second? That's okay, I'm on my phone a lot too, I get it. But, so I created this paper, and it's got 10 questions, and you guys, it's so simple. It's like I was writing it for 3rd graders. What's the respiratory blend? What are 3 ways to use oils? What's something that we use On Guard for? 10 questions, and I say, at the end of the night, I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna see if you have all 10 of your questions answered. I give it to them with the Natural Solutions Guide. And then if you have all 10 answers right, you get to have a diffuser bracelet. I buy them in bulk on Amazon, like they're $1 each. And so, but you put them in one of those cute little organza bags, and so people think they're getting a really great prize. And so they fill out, they pay attention, they put their phones down and they write the answers down because they want a prize at the end of the night. And then the last question is, what are three health issues you'd like to address? So when you're coming around checking to give them their diffuser bracelet, you chat with them about their 3 things. And we have done that for the last few classes with 100% enrollment rate at every one. And it's just because they put their phones down. That's all it is. People are so distracted. So that was just a bonus tip that Russell did not ask me to share with you. Okay, and then we do something called referral rewards. So at the end of the class, sometimes, I don't always, it kind of just depends on my gut and the feeling for the class, but I'll say, hey, if there's anybody that wants to give the host 3 names that they might be interested in hosting the class or might be interested in oils, we will give you a lemon oil, or if they enroll, we'll give you a citrus for every enrollment. And so we kind of just ask for referrals. Here's the thing, this is not your hobby, this is your business. And every business takes referrals. And so there's nothing wrong with doing that. Like, you're not gonna be pushy, you're not gonna be an obnoxious multi-level marketer, but it's okay to ask for referrals. Okay, I preach this to my team. If you do not have events on your calendar at all times, your business is not growing. It's just not. Your business is not gonna grow itself. If you were a bakery and you were only open for business on Saturdays from 3 to 4, is your business gonna grow? No. In doTERRA, you have to be open for business for it to grow. So if you don't have active events on your calendar, you need to be at corporate events, you need to be hosting events, you need to be teaching events for your downline. I'm telling you, classes, one-on-ones, sharing, just doing the tried and true, that's where it's at. Okay, all right, let's talk about a touchy subject. You can find prospects on social media. You can. That social media is not how I built my business. I'm not really good on it. I'm really not good on Instagram. I do have a Facebook page that I use that I have found a lot of prospects on who come to classes and enroll, but that's not been my main method of building. But here's the problem. There's just Facebook etiquette for finding prospects that we need to chat about because I really do see it as an issue. Number 1, Facebook algorithms are so bizarre. It's a constantly changing monster, okay? And if you're using words like MLM, sell, join my team, they're gonna censor it. They're not going to put it on there. Also, if you're copying and pasting the same exact word as 10,000 other advocates, they're gonna start censoring it. So you have to be creative, use your own wording, use your own pictures, and tell your story, okay? People are not attracted to advertised sales. They're attracted to practical applications, stories, everyday uses, and how you can make their life better. So here's the thing. I have on Facebook a lot of doTERRA people. It's the majority of my Facebook. And I can see a distinct difference from the people who just put, okay, for 200 PV, who wants to spend 200 PV and get Deep Blue free? And who wants lemongrass free this month? And who wants to join my team? Crickets, crickets, crickets. But when you are posting, oh my goodness, I just woke up and my kids are all snotty today. So I gave them a Symphony of the Cells and I diffused Breathe and we spent the day on the couch reading. There's like 500 likes and people are like, what's Breathe? I want Breathe, my kids are snotty too. And so you have to tell your story. How can you add value to their life? People are going to want to follow you when you're talking about your own story, when you're showing what you're doing with your kids, when you're showing how it helps you with a headache, when you're showing you how your LLV makes you sleep better, all of those things. Nobody's going to respond to an ad that just says, hey, I just went to leadership and who wants to come join my team? Nobody wants to join your team and be an MLM. They just don't. People want to join your team because they want to be a part of a cause and a vision and a movement. And friends, doTERRA is a movement, okay? Number 3, this possibly is on my top pet peeve list for my own people. If you are trying to sell multiple things on Facebook, no one's gonna buy from you. You're gonna not get customers because they're not gonna see you as a genuine lover of a product that has changed your life. They're gonna see you as someone who's just trying to sell them something. I have a friend who I went to college with, and we just reconnected on Facebook probably a year ago, and legitimately she has announced probably 12 separate new businesses. I'm like, what in the world? So, you cannot be selling multiple things. When you're in multi-level marketing, it's all your eggs in one basket. Be passionate and go for it, and you're gonna find those prospects. Here's the other thing that I've made a decision for myself, and I encourage my team to do. This is your own personal conviction. I have decided as a doTERRA leader, I am not going to even host parties for other businesses. Here's why. Because if I'm asking them, listen, I love makeup, I love purses, I certainly love Norwex. I'm not going to host a class for them. Because I'm not going to ask people to come to my house and buy that, and then the next night ask them to come to my house for a doTERRA class. They just think you're going to sell them something, okay? So you have to be laser focused. No amount of hostess benefits are worth losing prospects over, okay? So that's just a personal opinion. If you don't agree with me, you just go have all the parties you want. That's for me personally. Here's another thing that I see people doing that I think makes them lose prospects. Again, personal opinion. Ever since I've gone presidential, I've had a lot of companies contact me and ask me if I will you do my natural makeup link? Will you do my book link? Will you do my diffuser link? And just, it's not an MLM, so it's technically not against policy. And share it with your team and you can have a referral? No, I won't. Because I want them to buy doTERRA diffusers. I want them to focus on doTERRA. I don't want them to think I'm trying to get every penny out of them I can. And that's what you look like when you're doing that kind of thing on social media. So if you're truly prospecting for doTERRA customers and doTERRA builders, keep your eyes and your focus on doTERRA. Laser focus. Your problems are just distractions. They're distractions. Keep your eyes on your goal and don't let a free $50 in hostess prizes make you lose prospects, okay? Number 4, let's talk about Facebook etiquette when prospecting. I'm sure every single one of us in this room has some pretty strong political and religious views. We do, because we're humans. Facebook is not the platform for that. I promise you, if you are prospecting on Facebook, but you are constantly talking about controversial things, you are getting blocked and unfriended by the minute, okay? You be an ambassador for peace and love and togetherness, and people are, I'm not saying don't stand up for what you believe in, trust me. I'm saying it's not the place for arguing. You will not change their mind. You arguing about whether people should vaccinate or not, or you arguing whether you like Trump or not, that's sure not going to get you a prospect. It's not. And you're not going to change their mind. You're just going to make them mad. So you know what Facebook is appropriate for? Sharing your family, sharing your story, sharing your business, sharing your favorite inspirational quotes, telling people what book you're reading. You want people to follow you. You want people to want to be with you. And if you're constantly arguing, it's just not wise behavior, okay?
But don't vaccinate anyway.
That would be my own upline. Thank you very much. Thanks, James. Okay. That was just an example. I was just saying.
Just an example.
Okay, here's the other thing. And I'm just going to put it out there. Melissa's probably never going to ask me to speak again. But Facebook is not the place for you to... Here's what I did last night. Here's what I drank last night. Immodest pictures. It's not. And I had to say this in this workshop because I see it. Okay, if you want to prospect on social media, you can still be yourself, you can still shine bright, but there's things that you send to your girlfriends on text, and there's things that you put on social media, and they're very different. You know what I'm saying? Okay, ask yourself this question. Are you someone that people want to follow and trust and learn from? Because if you are, you're going to find prospects on Facebook and social media. Tell your story. Be positive. Don't argue, okay? All right. Behaving badly on social media is the quickest way to lose your prospects and your credibility. Number 4, let's talk about a good way to find prospects is vendor shows and networking groups. Vendor shows are not my favorite, but I'll tell you what, we sure have found some good builders from vendor shows. Just a couple quick tips on vendor shows. Always be outside on the table, not on the inside. Yeah, outside of the table. Be out there with your smile. You look nice, you're dressed nice. Give them some peppermint and say, would you like a drop of happy in your hand? Talk to them, build relationships with them. But the key to vendor shows is having a prize where they put their name in the basket, where you contact them later and you have an event, a live event, and a Facebook event set up in that same city within 5 days of your event. So every person in that basket gets an invite to your live event and your Facebook event. And some people like to tell them, you are a winner. You're the winner of the prize. And they give everybody a prize to get them to come to class. That's your own prerogative if you want to do that or not. But we have found that if you're stuck, if you don't know where to go to a vendor show. You're going to open yourself up to a whole netherworld of people. I also want to say that we never pay more than $50 for vendor shows. Every church and school and community outreach places, they have vendor shows all the time that you can find for like $20. So I know that a lot of the vendor shows that you're going to see advertised like $700, $800. You can do that if you want, but I like to stick to like the $25 ones just in case they're not always worth it, right? Has anybody ever invested in a vendor show and been really disappointed? Right. That's why you stick to the $25 vendor shows. Okay. DoTERRA in your day-to-day interaction. And so I had to learn this. I'm a homeschool mom. I'm super involved in my community, super involved in my church. And so I always am like, I have my kids with me all the time. I have to work DoTERRA into my life. It's just a lifestyle. So we go to soccer practice, and the other moms get deep blue samples. Or we're at baseball games, and I bring TerraShield spray for everybody. Or, you know, you are a walking diffuser at all times. You're using your product. You're putting lemon in your water. You're rubbing On Guard on your kids at McDonald's playland. All the things. You're being visible with your oils, okay? And so many people make the mistake of time blocking. Okay, from 7 to 8, that's my doTERRA time, and the rest of the day is my family time, and I don't even think about doTERRA. But you'll realize that doTERRA is just part of your lifestyle. You just work it in and bless people throughout the day, and you're going to naturally find prospects throughout the day who want what you have. Number 6, let's talk about actually prospecting for builders. So when you're using doTERRA throughout your day and you're posting your stories, you're going to probably have no problem finding users. But everybody's like, how do I find builders? Well, number 1, we know the secret to finding builders is enroll, 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 because the best builders come from people who love the product, right? It's just a numbers game. And we also know that if we were on the diamond page and we said, hey, who in this page came to doTERRA for the product, probably 90% of the people would say, I came to doTERRA for the product. Probably only 10% would say, I actually came for the business. So enrolling is how you prospect for builders. But I tell my people all the time, you are sitting on a gold mine. Yes, you should be spending 50% of your time prospecting, classes, one-on-ones, sampling, wellness consults, all the things. But 50% of your time needs to be spent developing the people you already have. So you guys have done the hard work of already creating a silver and above team. If you're in this room, you are a silver or above leader in doTERRA. And I know that within the next 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna watch every one of you walk the purple carpet. I'm so excited for you. And so you have to remember that I believe, personally, that if we all would develop and educate the people we're already sitting on, a lot of us would already be diamonds. Because there is a gold mine of people. I personally just reached out to a friend, and she might even be in this room right now, who's been enrolled for 4 years. And I randomly reached out to her because she happened to get a check one month and she wanted to know why. That was a few months ago. She's now here as a silver. She's been sitting on my team for 4 years as a user, like 10 levels down. So you never know. I will tell you, I sat on somebody's tree for a year. I enrolled in 2012 when doTERRA saved me from a hysterectomy after 4 C-sections. And in mid-2013, I thought maybe I should start telling people about it. But I had used the oils for a solid year because I was just buying them from my upline. I didn't even know I had an account, and I certainly didn't know what LRP was for a full year. And so you never know who is sitting on your organization that's a future presidential diamond that you just need to reach out to. So I would say to you, you already have builders on your tree, waiting for you to reach out and develop them. So I want to challenge you as I end today for you to go back to your team and print out a list of everyone who is on LRP, of everyone who is actively buying, and I want you to have a conversation with them about becoming a sharer or hosting a class. Because I promise you, you're sitting on a gold mine of people that have already been prospected that you just need to develop, okay? I know that because it happened in my life, and I know it because it has happened in my downline's life. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. The fact that you qualified for leadership makes you the top leaders in all of doTERRA. And it is our job to go out and tell the rest of the world about doTERRA. And before I go, I want to tell you that there is not one area of this United States, really in the world, but in the United States, that's saturated. You know how I know that? Because there's a town right outside of where I live called Nokomis, Illinois. And there's 2,500 people in that town. On my team, there's a diamond, an almost diamond, a platinum, multiple golds, silvers, premiers, and elite in the town of 2,500, and they still enroll every month. A town of 2,500. So don't ever say your area is saturated, because it's not, okay? Nothing is. Okay, guys, our work is cut out for us. It's time to get out there and do this and prospect for these new builders. You can do it. I love you, and I believe in you, and I think you're amazing. Thank you.